Happy Thursday. I am Raphael, and welcome to the live stream where we fix it in camera and finesse it in post. And please let me know that the mic is on. Yes! Success. How's it going, guys? How is everybody? Happy Thursday indeed. Roger, Diego, Ricardo, how are you guys doing? Thanks for joining me on this live stream. So yeah, I want to talk about actually, there's a whole bunch of things that I want to talk about. Definitely the best and the worst. That's what the whole theme of this stream is going to be. It's going to be some of the best and worst decisions that I've made in my career and with just choices. And some of them were the best and worst decisions that I've made, and some of them were actually made for me. And I'll explain what that means in a little bit, because there are times you have in your life that people just see things a little bit differently than you would at that moment. And they and if you're lucky enough to have the people that are having the best interest, your best interest at heart, sometimes they make the best decisions for you. And the opposite is also true, but we're going to avoid those kind. I'm going to stick to my own worst decisions and not say anything else. So just let me know what time it is, where you guys are. And if you guys are watching the replay later on, just let me know when you guys are watching and where you guys are watching from. So is everyone having a great Thursday? Oh, where's my... There it is. Roger, hello. Again, Diego, best versus worst. Which list attracts more YouTube viewers? That's a good question. Do you guys like watching the best of something or the worst of something? Ricardo, I'm here, not going to miss this one. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. White hat, am I in the right channel? Yeah, I don't know. This has become my default for this has become my default. Hold on, I'm a little bit too hot here. Thanks for letting me know. Bam. All right, that feels a little bit better. Maybe too dark, but we'll see. Yeah, the white hat is kind of become part of the branding. So long I have worn exclusively black because of being on set and being in the film industry and just doing a lot of live events. You end up having a full-on black wardrobe. So I would say that's actually one of the best decisions, is to simplify the wardrobe and not think about it. This is pretty much as much color as I get, the black and now the white hat. Because when you're on set or doing live events, if you're part of the crew, if you're part of the event, typically you wear black, so you don't take away attention from what's actually happening, and the light doesn't reflect off of the clothing that you have. Okay. Distraction. Okay. From Brazil, hello. Okay. 3 p.m. Nice. That's exactly when it is. Right here. So watching from Norway. Wow, it's getting late. So 9 o'clock-ish. And then hello, beautiful. So one of the first things that I definitely want to talk about today is remind everyone that there is a Color Finale giveaway happening. A lot of you guys have already submitted your names to it, but anyone that is watching, it's still going on. So make sure that you follow the go subscribe to Color Finale on their YouTube channel. The link is down below, and also make sure you DM me on Instagram. Here we go. Oops. And yeah, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Capricorn8 to let me know that you want to be part of it. So we're putting all the names into a random draw, and then 2 lucky winners will get Color Finale. So make sure, and just if you don't know what Color Finale is, it's a color correcting plugin for Final Cut Pro, excuse me. So LTP Studios. Subscribe to my other channel. That's an animation to the other channel. That's funny. That maybe I should turn that off. Yeah, it won't distract me here. Okay, so the other thing that I want to chat about, I made a video about this. I made a video about the Freewell 7-in-1 ND polarizer. So they contacted me afterwards because of my issues with the actual, oh, I'm going to move this over here. So they contacted me because I had an issue with how strong their lens cap was and how strong their lens cap wasn't. And because one of the things that I was doing, give me a second. So one of the things that I was doing is when you have the filter on, and this is what they explained to me, and I'm going to tell you why. So you have the base on. Can you guys see that? Is that a little bit too dark? Wait a second, let me bump that up. So when you have the main cap on, and then you put on the ND filter, what I would do, and what I think majority of people, let me know if you guys think the same way, is majority of people would have the filter on and then they would put the lens cap on top of that. But then what happens is the lens cap magnet is stronger than the filter magnet, which then pulls off the entire thing. So as a normal human being, I would want to put the lens cap on whatever filter that I'm using. But they recommend that you take off the filter, then put on the lens cap. But then you have to put this away. So now it becomes like, okay, I took my few shots. So then you take the filter off, you put the lens cap on, put this away into its case, it's a nice case. And then when you're like, oh, I got a nice shot that I want to take, you take off the lens cap and then you put the filter on. That actually feels like it slows down the process. Let me know what you guys think, because it makes sense to put the filter onto the camera, have it there, and then you would do that. Because a normal screw-on one, you just put the lens cap on top and then just kind of on and off, especially if you're doing run and record kind of recording. That becomes a hindrance. So I don't know, let me think. How would you do it? How would you do that process? Would you take it on and off? Would you be interested in having to do those 2 steps or 4 steps where you take off the filter, put on the lens cap, put the filter away, and then vice versa? So let me know how you guys feel about that, because it doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I'm a little bit backwards. I understand why that works in their process. I just don't understand why that would be the case, or if that's how people would actually use it. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna put this away, so I don't want to scratch it. It's a nice system. Like overall, it's a really nice system. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, so exactly. Overall, it's a nice system, but it's I like that there's so many options within it. Like if I was just buying my very first filter kit, this would be a great kit. I would want to use the lens cap on top of everything. So it was a little bit frustrating because I did have it on exclusively on my camera for about a week in all types of scenarios. So it feels like it's doing the opposite of the speed of the magnets. Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt, where I kept wanting to do that. That was what my natural instinct is. And they actually said that their instructions were to do it that way. But then it kind of goes against the whole speed thing that was going for it in the first place. Same train of thought. Perfect. I'm with you with the lens cap being the last one on top. Yeah, that's That's the way I would put it. But they said that they're going to look into it and they're going to try to find a solution moving forward, which is great. So like I like having that kind of open dialogue. Like when they sent it to me, I let them know that I'll use it. If I like it, I'll do a review, and I'll let them know my actual thoughts on it. And I've done a couple of people have sent me some items, and I think Tom does the same thing where it's like if I don't feel that this is something that I would use, even though I was kind of interested in it, then I won't make a review. But I'll send my notes back to them saying it was interesting, but you know I don't want to use it because of this and this and this. So the on and off would defeat the purpose of the quickness. Yes. And I actually have a video coming out next week about what variable ND I actually use. The one that I reach for and grab every single time, or not every single time, but the one I reach when I'm doing the run and record, the kind of quick and fast shooting where it's with me. So, and I have two ways that I use variable NDs. One is when I'm on set, when we have to be meticulous, and then I have one that's kind of on my personal camera in those run and record scenarios. So that's what the video is about next week. About the case system, the interchangeable system, far from good, easier to use. About the feeling of changing filters. About the case, in my opinion, it's horrible. Well, yeah, if you have to keep putting stuff in and out. And in one of their videos, I found it interesting. In one of their videos, they actually recommend to wear the case here so you can quickly, and like, how would you do that without the whole thing just, you open it and everything goes blah. Like it was a nice visual, but like there's no easy way to mount. Like there's a little hook here, but then, anyways. The quality of the filters are good. They work really well. There's no weird color casts that are not adjustable, or you know, there is a way to finesse it in post. I'm gonna bring this down. I'm gonna bring this up. Okay. Before we go on a little bit in this, I want your opinion. I want your opinion on the mics, because I'm kind of flip-flopping between a whole bunch of them. Hold on, let's just... Yeah, I like how you did that. The influencer. I'm influencing. So yeah, I want your opinion on the mics. I have 4 mics here that I would like your opinion on. So this is the Elgato Wave. I've been kind of testing it out for a couple weeks. They sent this, so I'm kind of reviewing it now. I love this clean, super clean setup. This is the low profile arm. It's on the desk, and it's just kind of out of the way. The microphone is in this nice position where it doesn't, I can put my hands underneath. Give me a second. I keep forgetting that I have a second angle. So here's the microphone, and I can still put my hands underneath, and it can move quickly in and out of the way. And it's, if your monitor is a little bit higher, then this whole system can actually fit underneath the monitor, which can come straight out from underneath. It's a nice little. I definitely like this arm better than this guy. So I'm gonna switch the microphone, and you guys let me know. So this is 1, and this is 2. Don't judge me. So I'm, again, I don't know what's happening. Oh, because I had a heavier mic on here. So I'm gonna switch the mic. So this is where I would have the Elgato. This is how I'd be talking with it. So that's how that sounds. And then let's switch the mic. It's not on mute. So this is the Shure MV7. Let me know how this sounds. I haven't changed any of the settings, so this is just the microphone coming in and out of the application right directly into the computer. So that's mic number 2. Give me a second. And now the big daddy, super low. Okay, no, let's see if I can. Okay, so here's. There you go. So, whoa. Whoa, that felt super loud. Let me know if that's loud. Give me a second. I'm hearing an echo. Let me know how that sounds. So this is, I'm using this mic like an animal, just kind of going all in. So this is the Shure SM7B. This is the King Mac Daddy of all the microphones. Let me know which one sounds the best, because I'll probably have it, if I was to use this one, I would probably have this on the same arm as the Elgato, so it would probably be sitting about there. So all in all, what I'm always looking for, and that's mainly the biggest thing about my channel, is I want to find stuff that is as frictionless as possible. And I love that. I love USB microphones in this live stream setup because it's just one cable plugged directly into the microphone, and there's an app that comes along with it. So this is the SM7B going through a, can't see it, but it's going through a cloud lifter, and then that's going through the Focusrite Scarlett 2. So the Elgato seems about the same as this one. So let's switch to the Elgato. Here we go, back to the Elgato Wave 1. So this is a $100 microphone, and between the two of them, so I'll switch back and forth. So this is the Elgato, and this is the SM7B. So I'm gonna make my voice sound louder. Now it doesn't matter, but this is how I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it a little bit further away. I'm not comfortable talking this close to the microphones. I want to do something where I don't have that distraction. So this is where I'll have the SM7B, and now we're back onto the Elgato Wave. So these are the two microphones that I'm using. So, and then you guys said that this bad boy, look at all, like I'm like Tom Buck now. I have all these microphones. What am I gonna do? Okay, so one more time. This is the Shure MV7. I'm not sure why it is lower, but it is. Okay, so give me a thumbs up for the MV7. The M7, oh geez, I can't even remember these. This one, and then the Elgato Wave. All right, get out of my face. All right. SM7B. So we're back on the Elgato. So to me, the Elgato sounds the same as the SM7B. That's what I'm assuming. Just call them 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, this is right now number 1. So overall, so I'm going to give you a little sneak peek, the behind the scenes on. I haven't done the review yet, but overall, I'm liking just the ease of use of this microphone because it comes with a little app that it controls a lot of inputs. You can actually do a little bit of a mix. So if you have audio and music, and you can just drag stuff in as a source, which actually becomes pretty cool if you're planning on doing live streams. It's a nice way to use it. And they're also, I think, in a future update to the software, they're going to add noise cancellation and maybe some compression and some other effects onto it. So I like where it's going. But the arm for sure is a great arm comparatively to, it's about $100, and it has know if you can see, it has like the cable storage, and you can store other stuff in there, like all the little bits and parts to help it. There's some tension rods on it. Again, I'm going to do a full video, but overall, I'm liking the simplicity of it, and that's really what it comes down to. And that's why I like using Ecamm. So that's actually one of the best decisions that I think I've made, and that's relating to the YouTube channel and to trying to keep the stream and the cost of doing these kind of streams as low as possible, and just trying to choose software and processes and tools that really simplify the entire process, the entire thing that we're trying to do with just creating. So frictionless as possible. That's being the point on reviewing and comparisons. Would you have to watch at least 2 different point of views on this? Yeah, absolute and animal use. I like this one. The small one is good. So I'm assuming that it's that. Yeah, I like the look at it. It looks like that it has that retro TV kind of microphone look to it. There is a downside. It does pick up a lot of noise. I had a laptop that was sitting right behind it. I had a MacBook. That's what I use for all my Skype and whatnot. And as soon as the fan goes on, it's just a little bit ridiculous. Actually, there's one more microphone. Let's see. Okay, this is the shotgun mic that's connected to the camera. So this is the third option, or the fourth option. Should I just stick with something that has no microphones? That has no microphones in frame, and just kind of go with this. This is what I use when I record my my main videos, because I don't like having anything in frame. I don't want to do those kind of videos, and I can process this. Oh, I'm getting a thumbs down, instant thumbs down. Ooh. And that's probably the most expensive microphone that I own, because it's a on-set microphone, because I've done a lot of interviews where you have to bring the boom mic, and so that's like $700 for that microphone. It's a business expense that I've had for years and years and years. It's a good microphone, but not for this apparently. All right, Elgato is winning that round. So we're back on the Elgato. Thank you guys. Thank you for helping me do that choice, because when I did a record test, and I just wanted to see what sounds like what, but having when Tom and Heather did their whole microphone review, or not review, but like just going through them one by one, I thought that was a great way to get an impartial ear on the entire process. Yeah, this is about $100. That's it. And it just plugs into the computer, where the SM7B by itself, plus the cloud lifter, plus a DAC, a digital audio converter, like the Focusrite, that adds up super quick just to get your audio into a computer. But the Shure MV7, and I like the Shure MV7 because it is also an XLR capable microphone. It's about 3 times more expensive, but it has USB plus XLR. So I can actually have this plugged into the computer and into the camera if I wanted to record both at the same time, where this, you can't do that. So there's functionality for both. So if you want this directly plugged in, but at the same time without having it delayed, then those are your options. What's the full name of the Elgato? This is the Elgato Wave 1. They also have a Wave 3, which gives you a little bit more options. I think that's a little bit more expensive. I think like $70 more, I think. No, I'm curious. Elgato. Let's see. What are we seeing here? Elgato. Elgato. Well, that's not coming up yet. So when it comes to the best and the worst, so I guess the Elgato is going to be the best in this case. For some reason, their website's not coming up. Yeah, and make sure you hit the like button to, I don't know why. I don't know why. Just hit the like button because it's awesome. 1 second. Audio. Here we go. Okay. So just going to share this with you guys. So we got the Wave 1 and then we have the Wave 3. So this is the one that we're playing with right now. The face cam looks interesting. But yeah, so this is about $100 or $99 or $129 or around there somewhere, depending on where you are. It's going to be a little bit different. And then the Wave 3 just has a little bit more functionality. This also has a peak suppressor, and so it doesn't kind of burst. So it has kind of a compressor onto it. So it's a nice little microphone. Fun. Here we go. Oh, sure. Now it comes here. So yeah, that's the. Comes with this little stand. Comes with a stand like this. If you can see that. Yeah, there you go. So that just goes right on the bottom. It's a nice weighted stand, so if you want to put it on your desk, but then you'll have that the hitting of. Anyways, okay. So back to the best and the worst decisions. Now, when I mentioned earlier, there are people in your life that come into your life that do have the best interest for you in heart. They want the best for you. And this actually happened with one of my first employers, Dorothy and Richard at Q Media. I got hired kind of right out of school because they saw some potential that they liked in my reel at the time. And they hired me, and they were super open about the whole process, how everything works, how the industry works. They gave a lot of room to grow and improve as an artist because I was doing a lot of motion graphics and a little bit of editing for them at the time. This is years ago. And then I worked there for about 5 years. They initially offered me 3 days a week for 2 weeks. 5 years later, I was still working with them on that premise that I was just going to be there, a little test. But there was a moment within those 5 years where they kind of saw that my potential was greater than I was comfortable pushing myself to. I was in a comfortable place. There was tons of work that they were doing. There was lots of opportunities. They were doing great work. It was positive work. A lot of the work that they did was very positive, and it was just a great opportunity to work with them. But there was a moment after about 5 years where they saw that I've kind of outgrown what they were able to offer me in my abilities. And so they literally had a sit down with me and said that they thought it was time for me to go. And I was like, what? Like, why would I want to leave when this is an opportunity? Like, this is great. I love working with them. It was like, it felt like I don't know how to describe it other than like, it felt like a family. It felt really good. It felt really comfortable. But that was the problem, where they saw that I had larger potential than just working as a motion graphics guy for their company. and they gave me a little leeway. They said, like, a couple months, and then it's time for you to go. And I immediately, was like, okay, I had to figure it out. I started my own company like right at that point. And it was one of those decisions that was best for me at the time. But when you're in the moment, you're just like, what is happening? Like, this is not going to be, I don't know what to do. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know where to, but like, it was one of the best moments to allow me to creatively grow and expand. And I did more things. That's when I started directing more. That's when I started, doing more editing. That's when I started to grow my own business and, doing the back and forth with clients and dealing with that on my own and learning that whole space. Like, I'm still friends with them. I still talk with them. And, it's like that relationship has always been, it was a great opportunity, right? And because of how they were, because of how they treated me, that's how I established the way I am when I hire people, when I work with people, when I am with people. So it's one of those things where at the moment I was just like, what's happening? Why are they kicking me out? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But because of it, I was able to do so much more and so many more opportunities. How about you guys? Do you guys have a best and worst decision that you look back, you're like, I'm so glad that I made the decision, or vice versa? So I'll give you my, this is a mix. This is a best and worst decision. This is I had an opportunity. Like, I used to work, there's a couple of guys that I used to work with, and they started working for this startup, and they asked if I was interested in if I would want to work with them because we already had a working relationship. And at the time, I thought it was a great opportunity. I thought it was one of the best decisions that I could make. And it was a stressful job. It was high intensity. It was a great opportunity. I got to do a lot of things, but at the same time, it pulled me away from the things that I wanted to do. It pulled me away from my family a little bit because it was so intensive and there was so much traveling involved. And my stress level just got so high that just dealing with some of the personalities that were present there. So at the same time, like, the experiences I got from it were the best. And the experiences I got from it were the worst. So I don't even know where to put that in this moment. Like, the money was great. The experience was terrible. The experiences were great, but then this whole other aspect of it just drove me kind of bonkers, because I learned so much stuff about business, but at the same time, when you know something needs to get done and something is the right thing to do, but no matter how much you try to convince, they just won't do it. And then you know it's going to be a detriment to everything that kind of follows afterwards. So it was this whole battle where it's just like, because there was a hierarchy in the company and, kind of had to know your place. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that I couldn't talk as freely as I would normally when I'm running a project, where it's just like, I know that these are right decisions. I know who to pull information from. I know how to communicate with all the different departments and trust those people when they have a really good opinion. But that wasn't the case. So again, let's see, where are we? So another one is, so I had this opportunity while I was working and this is one of the best decisions. This is one of the great things that happened. When we were working at this company, there was an opportunity to do a hologram for a really big artist. An artist that had passed away, so they wanted to do the recreation. And when we kind of looked at it, there was a moment where we're like, this is going to be intense. And it was bigger than the company could do on their own. And it actually led us to, it led me to contacting some of the best companies in the world that I never thought I would be talking directly to. Like, ILM, like Weta, like uh, the Mill, like all these great visual effects companies that I had no place to be talking with them. Like there was no reason for me to talk with them. That this gave me that opportunity to actually have those conversations where it's like, listen, this is what we want to do. This is what we want to create. And that actually opened up the door to some of the best conversations and meetings that I've ever had in my career. Again, it's stuff that I wish I could show you because the project got pretty far along and we got through lots of tests. We did a song, and it's never going to see the light of day because it didn't live up to it didn't live up to the expectation of the person that had the final say. So when they took a look at it, because it was going to be part of his show, when he took a look at it, he just kind of went like, I can't do this. He liked it. He liked where it was going. He just, at the time, everything that was surrounding holograms at the time just kind of was always negative press. So he's just like, kind of backed away. He's just like, he took a look at it. We set it up, and he just kind of went like, no. So it was one of those things where we initially said no, and we pushed for it because we saw how good it could have been, even though it didn't kind of go through. So my question for you guys, have you guys ever had an opportunity where you should have said yes, but you backed out because you were comfortable in your own zone at the moment? Does that make sense? That makes sense. I guess it's the YOLO idea. Never wonder what if. Actually, if you guys caught the live stream with Peter last week on my other channel, he talked about how he has set a goal to buy a house in the next year. And I think that's an amazing goal, because I remember when, before we bought our house, being working self-employed, being self-employed and having to save up the money and having to kind of, do we put all this money towards a house? Do we just rent? Do we just do all these? And going back and forth between all the decisions that we needed to do, I actually think that when we did buy the house eventually, it was one of the best decisions that we made, because we always have this back and forth where it's like, is house an investment or it's not? And it is when you think of it this way, because most people, they use the argument, don't buy, just rent, because you can use that money for other opportunities. But how many people actually take the opportunity? How many other people actually take that money and do something with it, invest it into a rental property, invest it into the stock market, into things that will actually grow that money? Or do they just sit on it in a bank account and not take that risk where they put it into something that is going to grow money over the long run? And because I think there was a whole article about how the landlords love having renters because they pay for their properties. So why not take that same kind of strategy where it's like, if you're able to buy something, even if it's smaller at the beginning, you're essentially into a forced savings routine where it grows the value because you're paying down the money that you borrowed, and it's growing in value over time. Like even people that they bought a house before the 2008 crash happened, if they held on to that house, their house would be worth more now. Everything is about a long investment, and owning a house, I think, is one of our best decisions that we made. It's an opportunity for forced savings, because every month you put in, a little bit goes to interest and a little bit goes to the principal, and over time more becomes principal, and you save. And it's like stuffing money into into a mattress, but then that mattress becomes more valuable even though you stuff money into it. It's a weird way to think about it. I understand. And there is, hold on, let's check. One thing that Peter taught me during the other live stream is to check in with you guys. And what do you guys think? I'm not hearing any best or worst decisions from you guys. Do you guys have something that was the absolute best decision that you made? And it could be anything, like starting your YouTube channel. I feel that I was terrified when I started the main channel, and because I was like, I didn't want to be on camera, I didn't want to do that, but you know, my wife is the one just like, just do it. You love talking about this kind of stuff. Hello. Why didn't you get the note? I don't know. But Ivars has an awesome hat, the code hat. It make sure you go check it out. He codes and codes and codes. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, he talks about freelancing and and self-employment and working for yourself. And make sure you guys check out his channel. And also Roger is just crushing it. I see you everywhere doing all awesome stuff. And I know that you asked the question about how I come up with the ideas for the channel. And I think you and I fall into the same kind of mindset where we have our full-time gigs and then we do the YouTube thing when we get an idea that sparks our interest. The one thing that I do, here, I'm going to share something with you guys. Don't give away my secrets. Hold on a sec. Where is it? There we go. Oops. So, one of the best decisions that I made was, can you guys see that? So this is my running list of projects that are just ideas, as you can see here. The short film ideas, published videos, videos that are in editing, videos that I'm researching. When I have an idea, here's one that I'm editing. Where is it? Here's one. So, no, I can't show you that because that's coming up. So here's one that's published, the free will one. So I write down all my ideas into Notion, and I have this great template that I kind of cobbled together from some other templates where I can write down the title ideas. I can write down any thumbnail ideas, any links that go to any specific place that I want to pull from, any sponsor information, which there is usually none because I haven't done any sponsored stuff yet, but it's there because it was part of another template. Kind of the breakdown of, you know, who's this for? Who's going to watch this? How are they thinking about it? So I'm kind of think of who's going to watch this that and how would I communicate it to them? Like who's the main character? What do they want? Why can't they get what they want? Like these are the kinds of things that I ask myself when I'm thinking about the script. There's also branding components, which is like it's the values, it's the icons, it's the rituals. If you guys read Primal Branding, this is the kind of breakdown that it goes through, all the rituals, the origin story, the language, the words that you use, the pagans. So this is always kind of the North Star when I'm thinking about when I create a video. So again, this is one of those best decisions. And then go into the script. So you have the hook with the guidance of like, you know, make sure that the hook has this. And then you have the intro, which is just my typical line of this is what the channel's about and this is what we're going to do. And then we go into the value. So this streamlines the idea process, because once I have an idea, then I have my formula of the way I want to structure the video, because it's hard for me to sit down and just have like a few bullet points and and go through those bullet points without rambling too much, because I want to make the videos as concise as possible and as quick as possible, because I value your time and I value my time. I want them to be like just as streamlined and use as few words as possible to convey the exact message that I want to, because this is what I've been doing for my entire career. And if you guys want this, this template, if you want me to share this template, let me know. If you guys use Notion, I'll share the full-on template with you guys and you guys can use it, because I found that this is a great way to overall just keep all my thoughts in place. Because, for instance, I want to do a, let's go back here. So I want to do a video on the Moment Cine Bloom filter, and it's in there. It's in that list, and it's coming along. But like, I don't know if I want to do any more filter reviews, because I got plenty of filters. Though I am doing one more, and I talk about which ND filter that I actually use. That's exactly how I am. I ramble way too much when I don't have a script. And now I don't necessarily always use the script verbatim, but I know that these are the concepts that I want to hit on. These are the points in this order, because that's the most logical sense. Especially when I'm doing a tutorial, I need to plot out, like, first you need to do this, then you need to do that, then you need to do that. Because I've tried just winging a tutorial, and hello, Homesick Mac. Happy Thursday. So yeah, I've tried winging a tutorial, and it's just like, oh yeah, I have to, first you have to do this, and then you have to go back, and then I struggle to edit that in a coherent way. So I actually end up writing most of the script, and then I'll read it, and then I'll add the visuals. And that's why I made the mistake once where I just kind of blew through so fast, where it just felt like I was just rushing the entire script. Aw, you're too sweet. Very true about property. Depends on country, but around me, renting costs about the same as it would pay monthly for mortgage. Yes, I had this whole discussion with the team that I do a lot of work with, and there's some UK guys where he couldn't understand how the rent was about £2,000, and he said, like, that's the mortgage that he's paying. It just makes no sense. Maybe it's all these new properties where people just bought and the prices were inflated, but it's just like, that's crazy. It's crazy. And it's one of the reasons why we moved out, like, of the kind of the core of the city, because we were living almost downtown Toronto, and there's no space. All the houses were much older, so we moved out to the suburbs just to have more space and a backyard and just quiet, because buses and streetcars and just all that crazy. That was one of the best decisions. I remember the first night we went to sleep in our new house, and it was so quiet. I was like, it feels like we're at a cottage, because we're just so used to having constant noise where we were living that it was a great thing. And I don't think I can ever go back. Like, if I, like, one night stay in a hotel, sure, but like, so best decision. I made a Craigslist ad to shoot someone's wedding for free. Wait a second. So I guess that turned out to be a career defining decision. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, maybe 11 years ago. Yeah, so there you go. So it's not like you did it last week, because you have some amazing photos. Like the photos that you take, like, I can see why you charge top dollar for your photos. So dropping 9-to-5 job for us here in North America. But yeah, so 8-to-5 job and start all the things. What I do was the best idea so far. YouTube startups and freelancing is way more fun than corporate career in management. Bravo! It's like you've literally taken. Well, no, I can't say that because I the only 9 to 5 job that I technically would say I've had post choosing a career was for that startup, and it was about 3.5 years at that startup, which again was amazing. But it's one of the best decisions was starting my own company, like literally being pushed out back in 2003, I think it was, and starting my own company and building the trust with clients to be able to work remotely, not necessarily from home, because Evars, you were just on vacation, working your ass off while having fun. Like that is one of the best decisions. And the thing with some of the best decisions is that they all take time to grow. The YouTube channels take time to grow. How much effort you put in is how much effort rewards kind of come out. I remember when I started working freelance, a lot of people still wanted me to come in to do work for them on particular projects for a couple of weeks. And it took years to build trust with clients, and every new client that I got to be able to raise the price and gain the trust with you. Because if a client trusts you, they're not going to question your rate. They're not going to question when you're working. They're not going to question your process, your ability. And when a client trusts you, they recommend you to other people, and they only recommend you if they trust you, because they don't want to look bad by recommending someone that's not going to follow through. So it really does come down to you being able to follow through on the promise of delivering. So if you say yes to something, you have to deliver, because what's the saying? It can take 2 minutes of a bad reputation moment to undo like 2 years of good reputation building. So everything always hinges on build the trust with your clients. Now let's check in. Let's see. Best and worst decisions. I don't think that's the key point to be exercised for, but doing consistently something, seeing on the outside between 1 and 1,000 actually carried reaching goals. Yeah. I would consider that being a good, one of your best decisions, is knowing that you have the opportunity to be consistent, to go back to it, to go back to a moment when when you don't have the motivation, when you don't have someone clapping for you to continue, but yet you still do it. Those are the best decisions. Because I've seen there are a lot of people that started their YouTube channels at almost the same time as I did. There's a lot of people that started their own businesses at the same time that I started, 20 years ago. And they ended up just going back to corporate work. But then there are some people that, like one of my best friends, he wanted to be a filmmaker and he persevered, and now he's doing like 2 films a year, and it's for him, it paid off. It's that consistency, it's that perseverance that to continue even when people aren't clapping and cheering for you. I will share that. Maybe I'll do a video that kind of goes through what it's all about, and then I'll share that template. But it's a great little template, and it's a great way to organize all your thoughts. Don't use Notion. You use other tools like Trello. This Notion template would be seeing inside view of your copywriting process, almost mental mapping. So I'll share a link. I'll figure out how to share it, but there's a direct link that I can share. I don't know if this has a mind map option to it, but it's like having notes plus Excel plus I guess it's like notes and Excel all together, but like you can link different things and build your own templates. So when you want to start another project, for instance, so when you want to start a new project, you literally click, oops, what's happening here? So yeah, you click new, and then you just new project, which is awesome, right? And then you just click this template. This will load up. Everything for that template. There it is. So you have, I have my research and notes. There's an editing checklist. There's a publishing checklist. And then there's a script. You can do a film schedule. So if you want to collaborate with some other people, if you want to do shots, you can actually do shots that are, you can do a full-on shot list if you're doing some B-roll stuff. So it's a great little template that I use for this kind of stuff. But I'm the same. When I'm working on bigger projects with producers and whatnot, there is way more. Like we use a CMS for that kind of stuff. But for personal, and I love that it's connected to everything. So I have an idea and I can type it in. And usually I'll just create a title for it and jot down any ideas really quickly in the script and just move on. And then it's down here, a new project, and you can just categorize it however you feel. So you are a heavy Notion user since 2019, best thing ever. Used Evernote, Asana, Trello. Yeah, I used Evernote, Asana, and I just tried to use notes like a madman. But Notion thus far has been one of the key ones. Did you guys know that Notion is owned by Clubhouse, or vice versa? The same company that makes Notion. Hello? The same company that does that built Notion is also the same company that built Clubhouse. Found that interesting. Is there going to be a live streaming pattern, Raphael? Once a month, week? Yeah, I want to get back onto the once a week thing. I just got so busy doing, I had huge projects that were kind of in the process. Then I had a whole bunch of home improvement stuff. We had to build a fence because the house that we bought is a new build now. So we had to build our own fence. So I did that. But yeah, I want to get back into the once a week thing. Just want to chat. I want to be able to talk about certain things. I definitely want to talk about more about the money making part of working for yourself and owning your own business and the creative side. So I definitely want to explore those kind of things because there are so many ways. Making money as a creative should be so simple. It's actually there's so much money out there that it's ridiculous. And I say this because, and this is one of those best decisions, is because I was able to communicate with a lot of the companies that I was working with, and they freely told me like how much they charged for my time to the client. So when I started getting my own clients, I didn't charge my day rate that I would charge a agency. I charged what the agency would charge. And doing that actually was one of the best decisions. And it terrified me because like, how can I say that I'm going to charge $1,500 a day to do this, where it's like, a week ago I was charging $600 or $700. And that's what they were charging. Like, I remember when I started out. So this is 20 years ago. This is 20 years ago when one of the companies I was working for, I would be charging them $300 a day to do motion graphics, but they would in turn charge $1,250 for my time to the client. And that's how it works. That's how you do overhead. That's how you charge for the space. That's how you do the pay for your expenses. And if you're working from home with your own equipment, your own computers, your own electricity, your own space, you shouldn't be charging what someone that's working in an office is charging. That makes no sense. The company's not paying for your computer. They're not paying for your electricity. They're not paying for any of the foods and snacks that you're eating. They're not paying for the internet. They're not paying so you need to build all that into it, where it just becomes this whole other realm. Is there a secret to making money? Yes. Always be talking about money with clients. always there is so that's freelancer, but then there's a whole nother side, like what to do when you got that money and now you have your earned income, which is an income stream. Now what do you do with that earned income? Because then there's a whole, like when people say how many income streams do you have, a lot of YouTubers talk about, well, it's like, well, I have affiliates, I have the YouTube channel, and my light just went out. They have, sponsorship. These are all, I would consider these all earned income. These are all earned income, where based on how much work you put into a YouTube channel, that's the money that's going to be coming in. Because if you stop making those YouTube videos, then you may make some royalties, which is the second line. You may make some royalties off of the older videos, but there will be a point where those will stop producing anything for you. So I would still classify that as one stream. Anything that's halo affected around YouTube is a single income stream. If you own property and people are renting from you, that's real estate. That's a whole nother income stream. Not your main property, any rental properties. And then on top of that, you have any kind of investments, stock market, mutual funds, ETFs, you name it. Anything that's an investment, that's just a financial investment, gold, whatnot. Those are, is that making money kind of year over year? And then you have dividends that come from the stock market. Like it's so different. It's so different than what most people talk about. Like, oh, I sell digital stuff, I sell this. It's like, yes, products can be, maybe that kind of goes into the royalties because you create a product once and then you can sell it. But anyways, so I digress. It does come down to understanding what to do with your earned income, because it always starts with an earned income. Then you then funnel into either real estate or other assets that can grow you money. And understanding how to make that leap from here to here will eventually knock this one out, and you won't have to rely on earned income. Like, so when people say, it's like, well, I have my ad revenue, I have my brand deals, like those are all earned income. All of them fall under that umbrella, at least for me. Let me know, do you guys agree, or do you see those as like, oh, I have 21 streams of income? No, you have one stream of income that is all tied to one specific thing. If you stop doing that one thing, just like if you stop working, those things will no longer work. So, because they say like, well, if the affiliates doesn't do it, then I'll get money from this. But like, it all hinges on working for YouTube. I know that there's a reverse where they say use YouTube to work for you, but it's all about promotion. The more you're able to promote your course, promote your brand, promote your ability to attract viewers, it's a interesting thing. So now once a month, big streams and smaller streams, advancing on isolated topics, taking cuts from big streams and editing, discussing views. Okay, what are we talking about here? So are you saying that I shouldn't do streams? Can you clarify that, Diego? Can you clarify? Because I want to do smaller streams on my second channel, on this channel, and then bigger streams on the main channel periodically when there's something big to celebrate. If there's a big giveaway, if I have some big surprises. But here's more of discussion. I want to be able to chat with you guys and talk about some of the funner stuff, and also discuss just having fun. Like I enjoy this. So how much to charge for one day on location, shooting a couple of instruction videos, one interview? I'm counting with at least 1-2 days of editing, Canadian prices. So for me, I would probably charge anywhere from, for one interview or testimonial, or maybe like if I'm on set and I'm bringing all the gear plus someone to help me set up. So I'm going to keep it small, minimal. I would probably charge $2,000 for myself and an extra $1,000 for a helping hand. So about $3,000. And then on top of that, I would probably charge another $2,000 to $5,000 for editing and finishing. That could include color grading, depending if they want color grading or music and whatnot. So anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 for a one-day shoot. And I know people do it for a lot less. But if that's the case, then they can find someone that is going to be more within their budget. I'd rather work less and make more than work more and hopefully make the same. Like, there's only realistically about 180 days any freelancer can do work a year. And that's like pushing it, and not a lot of people work that many days, especially if you're just doing camera stuff. Like maybe 100 days is more realistic, where you get one and then you get a prep day. So if you did 50 of those, like that's still quite a bit. How's the Clubhouse idea going, by the way? Would be fun to be able to interact with everyone instead of just writing. I need to connect with Luis and figure out how to do that. I haven't done that yet. Again, every day is a little bit busy, up and down. And happy Thursday, Luis. How's it going? It would be cool if you could make these live streams kind of like a Zoom chat style. Yeah, I'm working on it. That's what I'm going to do. But now that I'm kind of in this new setup, I'm going to try to get that going. I need to figure it out without buying any extra equipment. That's the thing. So that will be a best decision if I can avoid buying any new equipment. So I am going to bug you, Luis, to help me get that. But with that being said, I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me today on this happy Thursday. If you guys want to be part of that contest, make sure you subscribe to Color Finale. Link is in the description down below. Give this video a nice big thumbs up, and let's chat next week. And next week I will try to have Clubhouse up and running, and we will make that work. I know there's a way to do it. Let's make it happen. But for now, let's have a great Thursday. You guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys on the internet. Bye for now.